Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, nako, magandang alanganin ako sabing magandang gabi, no? Actually, gabi na ho dahil 6 p.m. dito ngayon sa United Kingdom. Pero pagka taas-taas pa ho ng araw, siguro mga alas 9, alas 10 pa ho siguro magdidilim talaga, no? No, parang gabi. Pero just the same, magandang good evening or good afternoon. And, well, kung nasaan man hong bahagi din ho kayo ng mundo na nanonood sa amin, mula sa aming original na broadcast na nagmumula ho rito sa United Kingdom, sa London, magandang araw ho, no? Pero dito ho, magandang hapon. Alanganin ho kasi pagka summertime dito, alas alas 9, alas 10 may araw pa no? Kaya dito ho, ang dinner time minsan ginagawang mga around siguro mga 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, ganyan. Dahil maliwanag na maliwanag pa ho, no? Pagka summertime. Magandang araw ho sa inyong lahat. Welcome ho sa inyo. It's a happy Tuesday, another Tuesday na naman ho. At syempre, kapag gantong araw, Legal Advice Corner ho, no? Ito ho yung mga kaalaman natin sa, kaalaman sa batas, no? Or mga bagay-bagay na tungkol sa batas dito ho sa United Kingdom na kailangan ho nating malaman. Kung may problema ho kayo, pwede nyo hong i-share ho sa amin or i-message ho namin dyan ho mamaya, no? So, welcome ho sa ating bagong time slot ho. Ito yung bagong time slot, no? At sana okay kayo, no? Na kasama namin at naninibago doon sa mga medyo na nagulat o na-shock but medyo ibang oras. Ito na ho yung bagong oras ho natin. At ito ho yung ating kasama, no? Walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, magandang gabi sa iyo. Hapon ba, gabi?
Magandang gabi, magandang araw, o magandang sunny day. It's been a sunny few days here in the UK. Dito sa Bedford po, it's 22 degrees. Nabasa ko yung weather update sa laptop ko. Mostly sunny. Ayun.
Oh.
So it's been a great few days experiencing British summertime. So lahat siguro nag-barbecue na. Tapos na ba lahat mag-barbecue? Tapos na ba lahat mag-picnic sa park? It's been great. Ako, paborito ko tayo. This is one of my favorite seasons. Probably my favorite season. So, welcome back mga remote social bubble, remote support bubble pa rin. Kasi in-extend pa rin ni Prime Minister Boris ang complete lockdown. He's saying, Mr. LARAGAN, we're imbes na next week, we're 4 weeks extended itong mga last bits of restriction. So, kung nakaantabay kayo, kasi si Mr. LARAGAN at ako nakaantabay sa full lockdown easing, kating-kating ng mag-travel.
Yes.
And to do stuff. But it's for all of our own good. So, I hope everyone's staying safe. Kamusta kayo, Mr. LARAGAN? How are you? How have you been? Anong balita sa Spain trip mo? Ano bang anong plan?
Wala na. It's gonna be, I guess we're gonna be just probably moving it either siguro next year na. I don't know. Kasi unless Spain gets onto the green list, no? Diba? Pwede. But at the moment, I don't think it's happening because I had just a phone call, video call with a couple, no, friend namin sa si Lily Stevens and John Stevens in Costa Blanca. And hindi pa rin, the situation down in Spain is not improving, no? Okay lang, hindi pa yung medyo nagluluwag o ano, no? Kaya I don't think in the near future makakapunta kami. We tried, di ba nakalagay yung Malta, attorney?
Yeah.
So we tried to
Malta,
book.
yes.
Oh,
Okay, what happened?
mahal.
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 Normally po mura ang Malta. Because I've been to Malta, mura ang airplane fare, reasonably priced yung mga hotels. It's very good for me. It's quite a beautiful place. Pero siguro dahil sa demand, tumaas ang presyo. A lot of people are doing staycation. Ewan ko sa feed nyo, pero napakadaming Pilipino nakikita
Wala
ko
kang
na.
choice eh. Wala kang choice. You have to do it here. Plus, you have to more or less try to put your mind in appreciating na maganda pala UK. Diba?
Oo,
Oo,
yun naman
diba?
ang
Yun ang iisipin
na
mo.
dito pala. Yeah, that's right.
Magkano ang biyahe mo when you were going to Malta?
Less than 100 pounds, I think, for a round trip.
Okay.
Less than 100 pounds.
Less than 100 pounds. Oo.
I would imagine less than 100 pounds. So,
Okay.
kasi yung friend ko na taga Malta nun, she used to say na kapag if you book well in advance, and this is through before Brexit, a long time ago, na if you book well in advance, you could even get 30 pounds na ticket, 50 pounds
Okay.
na ticket, 60, 70, and it's not unusual if organize ka, matagal-tagal mo yung schedule. Ewan ko na lang ngayon, post-Brexit, hindi ko pa natatry mag-book kasi katulad niyo po, magulo pa rin ang minsan green list, tapos pagising mo, naka-amber na o naka-red yung pupuntahan mo, di ba?
Oh, just like what happened to Portugal, di ba? Nasa green list, maraming, sige, dyan na lang tayo, di ba? Parang, sige, imbes na gusto natin another country, pero yan ang libre, pasok tayo. Pero kita mo naman, disaster, no? May kalalanding pa lang, biglang nagbubook ng return back home dahil in-announce na nila ng government na, yun nga, isasama na sa amber list, di ba? Parang ganun.
Amber list. It's gonna be strange. Travel for a while will be strange, I think. And talagang kailangan na lang nating i-enjoy kung ano yung meron tayo dito sa UK at this particular moment in time. Speaking of, di mo ba, kasi you were saying na anong oras na, what time is it? And that's natural light, mga kababayan, that's actually natural light filtering in. The longest day ever, for 2021 anyway, is next Monday, June
Next
21.
Monday?
The longest day. So, yun yung
longest
pinaka-longest
day.
for the year.
Okay.
Yeah, the
All
longest day, longest daylight. So, after that, andun na tayo the other side. Dahan-dahan na tayo.
Dahan-dahan pabawas. Okay. Well, we have to
pabawas.
take advantage of that, no? Ngayon ba, like, normally ba, anong oras yung talagang nagdidilim na para bang like 6 o'clock sa Pilipinas? Sa atin kasi sa atin ba kailan ba nagdidilim? Mga 5:45, 6 o'clock sa Pilipinas?
Mga ganyan po. That's right.
Gabi na, di ba?
That's right. Yeah.
Oo.
gabi na.
Dito, 6 o'clock tayo, and yet, ang ano tayo, no? Parang, para lang tayo, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's
Parang
right.
ganyan
Yeah,
lang, no?
tinitingnan ko sinisilip ko para alas 3 lang. I think here, 9:30 or 9 o'clock to 9:30, doon na parang, nagdidilim ng konti. And it's weird kung first time mo dito, nung unang taon ko dito, talagang nagulat, tuwan-tuwa ako. gulat ako. Amazed ako saan galing yung araw.
Ako rin.
Bakit dito tagal niyo UK?
Nanibago ka.
Amazed
Teka
ako.
muna, kailan ko ba dumating? You arrived almost summertime o summertime ka ba dumating?
No, pa-fall na.
Pa-fall na. Okay.
Pa-fall na. September, October. Pero maano pa rin.
Okay.
Medyo 8 o'clock pa rin. Pero hindi yung kasagsagan ng summer na ganito na talagang magugulat ka. Alas 9 na may araw pa rin. So, you're right na delayed yung mga dinner, delay yung mga kainan minsan, 9, 10 p.m.
Yeah,
So,
first summer ko na nagulat ako sa soccer pa, football pa yung mga bata, 9 o'clock. Parang sabi ko, okay to, no? Which is good naman, di ba? Which is good. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's
which is good,
right.
no? Ayan, oo. Sandali lang. may bukas yata ang microphone sa ating team, no? Pakipatay muna yung microphone. Nadidinig ko yung microphone sa background eh. Yung bukas na microphone. Ayun,
Yeah.
may bukas na
Ayun ba
microphone.
yung mga ano natin, yung
Oo, bukas sa
yung
microphone.
mga
Pakipatay sa microphone dyan. Yan, oo. Tinarinig ko kasi may pa'y kumakalas ko sa gilid eh. Oo. Alright. Okay, teka muna. Teka muna, you were mentioning attorney kanina, di ba? Before we went on air na parang parang nagkaroon ka ng baka extension ng side effects o hindi naman, no? You're not sure or it might be something else. Kasi maaaring mangyari sa mga maaari kasi may mga ano ba tawag dito, mga nagpapabakuna, vaccinate tapos delayed, 'di ba? May baka nag-kick in yung mga side effects nila later on, a little later. Ano ba? What do you think? Is it more of a side effect or hindi? More of something else?
Probably kasi definitely hindi siya COVID because negative wala naman ako na I do yung rapid test, hindi talaga siya COVID. So ang experience ko pa ng first dose, after 48 hours ako, nagkaroon ng konting side effects. And then, after a week, may konti pa. Parang may pahabol na slight na dito ako. Kung nahahaluan ako ng hay fever, parang bumababa po yung yung immune system. And then, I feel a little bit, kumbaga, just under the weather, just a little bit under the weather. And today, ewan ko ba, baka hay fever lang din po. So, ito yung classic sa UK, I don't know kung naramdaman nyo to. Dito ko lang talaga naramdaman na halos araw-araw ako pag summer, umaano ng anti-hay allergy. Lalo na pag ganito pasagsagan ng mga June, July. So, I felt it a little bit. It's 1 week later, 1 week and 2 days after ng second dose ko. I've heard a lot of things. Minsan yung iba straight away, they experience the side effect. And then for a long time as well, 2 to 3 days. Yung iba naman, completely wala. Yung iba, lang talaga, headache. So, depende talaga sa body mo. It's such a subjective experience. Did you feel anything, Mr.
Wala. Attorney, wala akong naramdaman. Even normally, magkakaroon ng soreness doon sa kung saan na-injection, no? Itong left ko yata ini-injection. Yan ang favorite nila, yung left na yan, no? Left ka rin, no? Hindi ko alam kung dahil pero yeah, left, no? And it was, wala akong na-feel. Hindi yung normal. Yung first ko, medyo the following day, may konting soreness. Yun lang so far, wala akong side effects. But on the second time, ang gaan siguro ng kamay nung sa akin. Ang galing, no? Galing. Wala akong naramdaman, wala akong side effect, and I'm so thankful, no? 'Di ba? Yun ang fear natin. Siguro lalo na ikaw, fear nyo dahil 'di ba nung nagkaroon ng kwento sa clotting yata, blood clotting, ano ba? Yung brain clotting ba? Ano yung 'di ba nagkaroon ng issue ng
AstraZeneca po ako. Biglang nabigyan na ako ata ng first dose tapos nagkaroon ng blood clotting na parang concern. Wala na. Nabigyan ka na ng unang tarok eh. Committed ka na.
Pero did you have this fear na baka baka tamaan ako ng gusto, baka hindi maganda ang side effects sa akin? Was there like a bit of a worry at the back of your mind?
Siguro sa akin, mas concern ako sa epekto ng COVID siguro yun yung talagang mas concern ko because pag nagkakatrangkaso ako, medyo na-exacerbate yung asthma. So, I was a bit more concerned doon kesa dun sa side effects. I felt a bit, siguro confident is the right word kasi medyo healthy naman ako.
Okay.
Maliksi naman, gumagalaw, nag-exercise naman. So, I thought mas malaki yung chance ko na mas walang side effects yung vaccine because of I've never had any clotting problems before. So siguro on the balance of siguro probabilities that I have a greater chance, mas maganda yung chance ko dun sa vaccine. So that was yun yung side ko. I know yung iba't iba tayo, iba't iba naman yung mayroong iba na ayaw talaga. Fair enough. Yun yung but ito yung personal na experience ko siguro. Nothing big sa side effect.
Wala naman.
A bit siguro ngayon lang talaga. ano lang talaga, hay fever. Napakalakas po talaga ng hay fever ko sa UK. I don't know about you, Mr. Laragan, pero
Well, thank God, hindi ako tinamaan because
hindi kami
oh,
natamaan.
meron
Ang
akong ano,
dami po kaya. Ang dami talagang natatamaan
marami,
ng
oh, may
hay
mga
fever.
kilala ko na Pinoy, syempre, di ba? Hindi naman uso hay fever sa Pilipinas, di ba?
Hindi ako,
Oh, di
yun
ba?
nga, dito ko lang na-discover yan eh. Sabi ko, ay, ano
Pagdating
ba to?
dito, tinamaan, 'di ba, yung eyes
Tinamaan.
nyo parang ano, 'di ba,
Hmm,
namumula-mula na sakit-sakit
very.
ganyan. So, ikaw, meron ka
Yeah.
mild or meron ka talaga?
Meron akong, it depends. May season kasi may tree, tsaka
Ah,
may
good.
grass pollen. So, it depends. So,
Oh,
parang
good, good.
I think summer ako mas, yung ganito talaga, summer ako mas mas natatamaan na.
Kasi what
Yun
I
ang,
said good, no, pagka kasi hindi malala sa'yo, sana hindi malala, no, dahil mahirap yan eh. I've seen a lot of sufferers, ha? They call them, 'di ba, yung mga ano, ganyan mga sufferers na it's really,
yeah.
'di ba, mahirap-hirap yan eh. Uh, Sana nga hindi mo rin alam kung bigla kang tatamaan eh. So I might be living here
Oo.
for the last 30 years, tapos biglang after 30 or 40 years bigla kang tinamaan, no, which is
Bigla kang
ayoko naman.
tinamaan. May mga ganun din, yeah. So,
Pero
kwento sa
mm,
mga ano natin, mga viewers natin kung yung experience nila sa British summertime. May hay fever ba sila?
may hay fever ba kayo?
Ano
Oo,
sila?
tama,
Oo,
oo.
may hay fever ba kayo? Ano ba yung
Tinamaan
mga
kayo.
ano nyo? Mga remedies? May mga home remedies ba kayo? Or
Mm.
ano lang? Isin na lang. Isin na lang ba?
May,
Lilipas
tama,
yung
tama,
ano.
tama. May tanong din ako sa'yo. Dagdag na rin natin. So, ano kayo? Kayo ba'y nakaranas na ng hay fever o hindi, no? This is
Yeah.
something new sa ating mga Pinoy sa UK, no? Second question is, yung pinag-usapan natin yung vaccination. So, yan ang sabi ni ng government, yan ang key para we go back to
Yeah.
normalcy, no? Normality. At yung June 21 was dubbed Freedom Day. I
The
don't know kung
Freedom
tama yan.
Day, yes.
The Freedom Day. Ikaw ba, ano feeling mo? Do you feel bad or are you understanding na okay lang yan? Siguro, at least give it more time. Ano feeling mo?
For,
Ano
for
feeling
me,
mo,
long
attorney?
term pa rin.
Hmm?
Yeah, we have to look at the long term. Kasi marami tayong mga kababayan na healthcare workers. So, mas lalo silang mapapatig siguro kung mas tatagal pa to. So, whatever it is na makakatulong in the longer term, kung gano'n naman eh.
Mm.
Saying that, hindi ako medical professional, but from what I've been hearing, mukhang we're gonna have a variant of some sort of COVID na magsistay for a long time. So equally, we have to adapt. We have to also um, siguro accept na may part tong pandemic na to na magli-linger for quite a while.
Mhm.
Na ang tabay pa rin, but equally, we have to move with it. So, lahat yung mga industriya natin, yung trabaho natin, hanap buhay, we can move on a little bit. So, a bit of both na may vigilance, pero may reality check din na this is gonna be it for a while, I think. This is
Yeah.
gonna be it. Walang travel, walang medyo staycation muna. Parang ngayon parati na akong may rapid test kit just in case na alam mo yun na masama-sama pakiramdam mo, test kit agad tapos respond accordingly.
Saan mo na ako yan? Sa GP, attorney?
Libre po.
Binibigyan lang kagad?
Libre po. Oo,
Binibigyan
libre
ka agad?
po.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah. You
Oh.
can get from any chance 7 test kit. Let me show it.
Oh, right. Oo, alam ko meron eh. Pwede nga. Kaya lang hindi namin ginawa, no? Ay, ayan pala, pwede, no?
Yeah.
Oh, libre, di ba? Siyempre, of
So,
course, libre, no?
your step by step
Oh, okay. Self-testing.
COVID-19
That is
test.
if you suspect that
Feeling
you...
nurse na naman ako. Feeling
But
healthcare
have you tried
worker.
it? Have you tried once? Have you tried it once, attorney? Have you
I've
tried
tried
it
it a
once?
number of times. I've tried it
Ah,
a
really,
number of
ah?
times.
Ah, okay. A number of times.
Parang yung pakete ko na photo.
Ah, right. So you have it, and then you submit it. You bring send,
No, you test it yourself.
self-testing. Talagang kita na kagad.
Self-testing. May self-testing. Anuhin natin kasi may extra ako dito eh.
Hindi, pakita
Oo.
natin sa mga
Okay,
kababayan natin.
okay.
We can, makita, tingnan natin.
Alam siguro ng mga ang
Okay.
dami healthcare workers, ako pa yung
Sige.
nagpakita sa healthcare.
Oh.
Hindi naman po ata ako ang dapat na otoridad na, ng, ano, ng pagra-rapid test. Ako po yung abogado, hindi po ako
Hindi,
doktor.
pero hindi ka nga health worker, pero itong now we our advantage over the health workers is we can disseminate the information straight away by way of
Yeah,
our
that's
show, no?
right, that's right.
So makikita nila. So people who have no idea like me, no? I haven't got
Yeah,
a clue, wala akong idea. So at least makikita ko.
Kaya ano ka, meron kang swab, so like we can go through it. You have one of those swab na, whatever, the swab stick. I can open this kasi extra to eh.
Oh, yeah, okay. Tsaka
You have the test, that's the actual test. Kasi tinatanong mo kung ano ba, dito yung test, parang yan po yung test. Then pag nakuha mo yung specimen na ilalagay mo dun sa, sa tube, may step by step. So just follow the step by step. Very, very user friendly. Parang sponsored yung NHS.
Okay. Nagugulat si Irene Duway sa inyo. Sabi niya, si attorney naging healthcare worker. Oo.
Yung na-feel ko ata ang pag-sponsor ng NHS. So when you've taken your, I wouldn't show it. I think most people have done a COVID test. So when you've done your swab and you put it in your little vial, dito may drop na sulalagay sa S na yan, specimen atawan yan. And then you wait for 30 minutes. One line, pag sa C means negative, 2 lines means
Okay,
positive.
okay.
So, pero pag yung T lang daw yung may line, void daw yun. Pero yan, dito naman po lahat. So, very user-friendly. Para sa akin, akala ko sobrang komplikado kasi wala na. Hindi yung sabi ko, hindi po ako medical. Kaya nagkukunwari lang ako kung sponsored ng NHS.
Okay, no? Oh. Pero attorney, yan ang first time mo mag-swab? Yan, o na-swab ka na before?
I've done a few, yung PCR, nakapag ilang beses na PCR test na rin po ako.
Sa mga testing centers yan, di ba?
Mga testing centers, yeah. I've done
Okay.
testing center, mga walk-in center, so...
All right. So, okay.
So, marunong na po tayo.
So, season ka na pala. Season ka na pala dyan sa
Pwede na tayong gumawa ng advertisement para sa self-test ng NHS.
Yes, attorney, oo.
They are saying, ewan ko po kung available pa, but that was, a few weeks ago. It's been really helpful kasi pag alam mo yun, akala mo hay fever, lalo na ngayon. It feels like hay fever. I'm comfortable na hay fever talaga. Wala naman po akong temperature, so talagang lang. So yan. NHS, sponsor kami.
Siguro mag-aano na rin ako, attorney. Kukuha na ako niyan, no? Kasi alam ko, they were encouraging that yung mga self-testing yata, di ba? They were encouraging supply. So we'll have to get some, no? Attorney, magkano lang tayo? Sorry, go ahead. I was talking over you. No, sorry.
Roll call na tayo.
Manghula ka. Hulaan mo lang. Sino unang bumati sa atin?
Si Ma'am Cora Corsola, number 1 normally, o kaya si Emily.
No, well, unfortunately, or not really, hindi siya ang no? So, it starts with the letter M. Letter M. And then the ending na surname niya is letter P. Parang Manny Pacquiao. Ganyan. Pero M and P.
Sige po. Sino ba?
Hindi, mahula lang. M tapos surname niya P.
Sino ba? Si Rit.
Si Rita. Ayan, attorney, pakabasa.
Si Marshall Galicia pa. Oh, wow. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Dana. Magandang gabi po. At sa lahat, happy Tuesday and stay safe and God bless. I'm watching from Cheltenham. Ito na, roll call. So, muna, valedictorian. Marian
valedictorian.
Galicia.
Yan, si Ma'am Cora. Second, salutatorian si Ma'am Cora. Salutatorian siya ngayon.
So, Sonny, Attorney Dana, and all maligayang gabi. So, yan. Ma'am Cora, hello po. Good evening. Sino third? Oh, Oliver Fernandez. Yes, shout out po sa Everett near Seattle, Washington State. Present po sa register. Hello, Attorney Dana and Kuya Sonny. Check na yan sa register.
Oliver was Oliver is my avid fan and view listener when he was young.
Ayan, sabi mo nga,
Together with his
yeah.
Lola, no? Si Lola. Oliver,
Some
mabuhay, ha?
years ago.
Kumusta na si
Mabuhay,
Lola? I'm sure,
mabuhay,
I don't know
Oliver.
kung buhay pa si Lola, no? Ayan,
Yeah.
sabi ni Oliver, may message siya, attorney, and
Hay fever was one of the reasons why I moved here in Washington, but I didn't do my research properly. Tree and grass pollen galore here, much worse. Yeah, it's tree and grass pollen, ano. Yeah, it's
oh, yeah.
talagang ano, talagang it could be very uncomfortable. But I hope you're getting some sort of remedies, mga medical or herbal remedies,
Oo
Oliver.
nga.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel
Oo
you.
nga. Ano
Especially
yata,
today.
he was here yata, he used to live or work dito sa United Kingdom, then moved to Seattle sa US, no? So
And
mabuhay
then,
ka, Oliver. Thank you, and he's always there, ha? I mean, minsan walang ano yan, walang even yung show namin with Marites Allen, he would be there. So
yeah.
thanks for supporting. Hindi ka ba nanibago? Bago oras, minus 8 hours. Anong oras ba doon sa sa Washington, attorney? Shall we say around
Probably
11 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
No. 10 o'clock, sorry. 10
10
o'clock.
10
Tama
o'clock,
ka.
yeah.
10 o'clock na
Yeah.
umaga. Mabuhay, ha? Mabuhay, Oliver.
Buhay, Oliver.
Mabuhay, okay. Ito.
Darmin.
Oo,
Si
from
Darmin. Hello
sa
po.
Belgium.
Hello,
Ayan.
Darmin.
Ayan. Okay. Uy. Ayan.
Yes. Si Paula Patricia Roque Perez, isa dun sa mga bagets na
Bagay natin.
video.
Oh, yes.
Magandang gabi, Sir Sonny, and to our beautiful and young-looking attorney, Donna. Happy Tuesday. Wow,
Oh,
tama
happy
naman ang
Tuesday,
bunso,
Paula.
Paula.
Happy Tuesday, Paula, ha? Ayan, oo.
Meron pa talaga tayo ngayon, Sir
Oo
Sir
nga,
Sonny.
oo nga. Yes.
Meron pa talaga tayo ngayon.
Oo nga. Meron akong mas matingkad na tag dito na parang pinkish na pero ano ba to? Ano bang kulay ito, no? How would you Teka muna, papakita ko.
Ano ba yan?
Anong bang kulay ito? Kasi alam mo, mahina ako sa kulay, no? Anong kulay ba to? Anong kulay ba tong suot ko na to? Tanggalin nga natin to. Ayan.
Hindi,
Ayan.
ano nga ba yan? Parang,
Eka.
hindi siya parang nag-ano na, uh, hindi naman siya
Ito yung sa
yellow.
ito yung sa iyo, attorney, eh. Oh, parang pareho na
Yeah,
shade, no?
hindi,
Almost, no?
Almost
Ayan.
almost na, yeah. Malapit
almost.
na.
Ayan.
Same color family.
Same color. Oo.
Magkapinsan.
Ayan.
Magpinsan yung,
Oo nga, tama nga naman. Tama 'yon. Tama, magpinsan. Okay.
magpinsan yung kulay namin.
Ito. From
Ano ba yan?
Northern Ireland tayo. Attorney.
Northern Ireland, magandang gabi po ng masayang Tuesday. Magandang attorney Dana at gwapong Sir Sunny at mga kababayan from Team Lebroho of Belfast.
Yes,
Good
team.
evening.
Mabuhay, Librojo family, ha. Mabuhay kayo diyan sa Belfast, no? Have you been to Belfast, attorney?
Hindi pa po. I always been
Okay.
wanting to go. Yeah.
Maganda yan. Diyan ang, like I said, hindi ko alam kung nabanggit ko na sa'yo before, yung Titanic, yung Titanic, yung sikat na Titanic na,
Opo.
ano ba yan, luxury liner
Liner.
na bumagsak, na nalubog,
Yeah.
no? Tinamaan na iceberg. Diyan ginawa, sa Belfast.
Talaga?
Yes.
Sa Belfast siya?
Although it sailed away, yung sailing niya was from
Yeah.
From Southampton. Pero
Southampton.
Southampton yata. Tapos
New
dun
York.
sa Belfast ginawa 'yan. Ayun.
Very
Tama ba Rudy, no? Baka mali akong sinabi.
Yes.
Baka nagyayabang ako kay attorney sabi niya. Okay.
Random trivia.
Ayun, random trivia natin.
Irene Duay, good evening, Kuya Sunny and Attorney Dana. How are you both? Hello to all your listeners too. Good evening, Irene. It's good. Everyone's I'm good. Kahit medyo nagsasuffer from hay fever, nagawa pa rin nating magbigay ng advertisement para sa
Yes,
self-test.
Hindi ko alam yan, attorney. Matagal ka na palang, second box mo na yung na yan, no?
O second box ko na po.
Ano yan, parang when you feel
sinulit
like...
ko ang tax na binayaran ko.
Ilan ang laman bawat isang box? Ilan ang laman?
Seven.
So naka-7 ka na pala. Naka-7 ka na pala. Okay, well, at least, no? Kasi yung una kong yung sa government, dyan sa may bandang, I had mine, yung unang testing ko sa parang drive-through o drive-in. Parang gano'n, no? Dyan sa may, the home of rugby. Ano bang tawag dito? Yung rugby stadium.
Twickenham.
Twickenham, yeah, tama, Twickenham. Baka
Twickenham,
masyado
yeah.
mo, attorney,
Twickenham.
Yan, Twickenham, dyan. Malapit doon, no? Sa likod lang noon. Doon kami nag-ano.
Yeah.
Nako, hirap na hirap ako dahil hindi ko alam kung ginagawa mo yun, no? Pero sabi, wag tamaan. Hindi, parang asama, kailangan may kunin eh. Merong iniiwasan ka, wag
Doon na.
tamaan eh. Wag
Sa
tamaan yung...
tonsil. Yeah.
Okay, sa tonsil yata, di ba yun? Parang ang hirap,
Tonsil talaga.
parang ang hirap tamaan yung ang hirap eh.
Yung dito.
So, oo, yun. Tapos nung tamaan ko, sama ng feeling, parang naubo
Sa,
ko.
sa,
Di ba yung tonsil mo, tapos may parang cotton yan. Kumbaga, parang cotton nga ba yan? O biro mo,
Ganda, yeah.
tamaan yung tonsil mo o yung ano mo ron sa loob eh.
Ito talaga, ano,
Di ba? Parang wow. So I had a very unusual feeling nung ginawa ko. Pati sa ilong,
yeah.
di ba?
Minsan pa sa ilong pa, no?
Sakit. Pero ngayon, with what you have, attorney, nakatodo ba yung yung parang yung nakatodo ba sa ilong mo all the way up?
Masakit pa rin po. Mahaba pa rin siya. Ganun pa rin yung requirements nila.
Wow, grabe
So,
ba
mo yung
talaga.
yung...
Pero I was so happy then, ha? Pero tutuwan-tuwa ako na dahil negative, dumating yata yung result. So tuwan-tuwa ako. Sabi ko, wow, negative ako, no? So, ayun. Pero ikaw, you did it twice yet? Thrice? Parang sabi mo, maraming beses mo ginawa yun.
Yeah, maraming beses po yan. Probably 2 or 3 times then,
Okay. Okay, good.
walk-in test dati. Or
Yeah,
PCR.
But that's good. You're availing of all the services dito sa United Kingdom, attorney. Which is good.
Sinulit.
Sinulit mo. Ayan, si John Tonic, attorney.
Ayan. Good evening po, Ma'am Attorney Donna at Sir Sonny. Mabuhay po kayo. Watching from Andorra. Spain po yun, no? Spain, Andorra. Spain, ano? Andorra?
Spain. Andorra. Sa Andorra.
Andorra, yeah.
Yata Spain eh. Alam ko pagka ang Spanish Embassy, Philippine Embassy to Spain, kasama yan sa jurisdiction yata ng ano tawag dito, ng ambassador, no? Ng embassy ng Pilipinas, ang Andorra. Marami daw mga Pilipino riyan eh. As far as I know, no? May maraming mga Pilipino diyan sa Andorra. Italy naman ay ano ba, 'di ba, Monaco is a small country sa south of France, 'di ba?
That's right.
Oo,
Yeah.
tapos Vatican,
Principality of Monaco.
Principality of
The
Monaco,
Principality
'di ba?
of Monaco.
Oh,
That's right.
it's a small country diyan sa loob sa
Yeah.
'di ba? Ang Vatican also is a city-state, di ba? City-state ang Vatican. So, parang bansa rin yan, pero nasa loob ng Rome. Nasa loob ng Rome, nasa loob ng Italy. Pero, have you heard of San Marino?
Very vaguely. Saan po ba yan?
Doon din, sa Spain din yun. Spain, sorry. Sa Italy, I should say. Sa Italy,
Italy po, okay.
pagkalit na bansa, pero may Pilipino doon. May a few Filipinos yata eh. Because, okay. So how did I know? There was this family in San Marino that adopted a couple of kids yata, Filipino kids. Babae, lalaki yata sa Pilipinas, and they were brought to San Marino.
San Marino.
Oh.
Nakakatuwa.
Yung mga nanonood siguro i-research ho ninyo San Marino. It's a small country. Country yata, country na siguro San Marino. Diyan sa sa Italy. Si Florita Brown, nako siguro i-search mo na sa internet, no? I-check
Ano po ang address ng
home
home
office
office?
and documents. Oo nga. Hindi ba binibigay sa'yo kung saan?
Best to search the home office na website.
Home office o website. Or give them a call kasi hindi pwede tayo magmarunong. Ayoko rin magmarunong.
Depende
Diba?
yan kung
So,
ano
depende.
talaga yung depende sa application mo din. Yeah.
Ayan. Okay. Ayan. Seth Aval. Ayan.
Seth Aval. Good evening po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Donna. Good evening,
Ayun.
Seth. Kami mga bago ngayon,
Seth Aval.
Ayun.
Good evening. So, ayan. Ayan. So far, yun natin mga messages. At least, andyan everybody, no? Ma'am Carsola, si Marian. Si Marian, siya rin ang nauna last week yata kay Attorney Lira, no? So,
Yes,
which is
first honor.
first honor.
Consistent na first honor si Marian Galicia Panera.
Yes, mabuhay ka, mabuhay. Kayo ho, ano ho ba kayo? Kayo ba'y nakaranas ng hay fever? Is it something that you've experienced already, di ba? Kwento lang sa atin,
Right.
ano lang. Plus yun nga, yung Freedom Day, kayo ba'y nadismaya na Hindi pa tayo, di ba kasi supposedly June 21 attorney, wala na tayong masks.
Yeah,
Dahil,
that's
di ba?
right.
Wala na, di ba?
That's right.
Oo. Ngayon,
Pero, onting days lang. 4 weeks.
konting
4
tiis
weeks,
lang.
malapit na.
Konting
That's right.
tiis na lang at hopefully maayos na ho tayo. No? Maski paano, maayos na ho tayo.
Exactly.
Attorney, are you gonna be discussing anything like for ano?
Yes, yes,
Quick,
isa sa mga nauunang tanong ng mga not just kababayan but potential clients sa divorce. How long does it take to get a divorce in the UK? So very very quickly go through that, and also some tips para hindi naman mapabilis but to have an efficient process. So practical tips and a time or a an idea about the timetable.
Well, maganda yan kasi actually one of the questions yan, pero sige, at least i-discuss muna tapos ipapakita ko na siguro yung question. Baka masagot na kagad sa ano mo, but just the same, we will just show it, no? Okay.
Pakita pa rin natin.
Pakita pa rin natin. Okay, so we're gonna have a short break, mga kaibigan. Huwag ko kayong alis at kami ho ni Attorney Danna Quinto ay magbabalik dito sa ating programa, no? Yung ating Legal Advice Corner. At syempre, pagbalik i-discuss na ho ni Attorney yung ano ba process ng divorce o yung gaano katagal ang divorce? Anong ano?
Yes, both, because by answering with the answer sa question mahagip natin kung ano yung process.
Sige.
Well, general process, and ano yung tips para bumilis yung conclusion ng stage ng buhay niya na yan. Kasi most of the time, the first thing that people say, well, ano ba, gaano katagal ba ako magtitiis sa ganitong sitwasyon? So, it's rough idea, and then kung ano yung practical guidance to have an efficient process.
Mabuhay. Uy, abangan ho ninyo ha. Huwag ko kayong kukurap, sabi nga nila. Pagbalik ho natin. Yeah, kasi this is very important kung, di ba, ganun nagmamahalan pero eventually kailangan din maghiwalay. May mga ganong situation. Ito ho, malalaman ho ninyo. Mas maintindihan ho ninyo sa pagpapaliwanag ni Attorney. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%, all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka i-evict ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mana, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS, harassment, o baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo. Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating program Legal Advice Corner on a Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And syempre kasama natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, good evening once again sa'yo.
Good evening, good evening. Magandang gabi kahit na bukas na andyan pa rin yung
Oo
araw.
nga, grabe.
It's a bit confusing eh. Talagang mapapa-stop ka kung talagang tama ba yung ginamit mo. So, magandang gabi, Mr. Laragan. We're back here. We're back here sa UK. 23 degrees, tumaas ng 1 degree.
Oy,
Parang
23
uminit
degrees.
ng konti
Oo.
kasi pag-uusapan yung divorce ulit.
Yes.
Nagalit
Oo.
ata yung araw.
Ayan. Also, okay, so you take it away now, no?
Yes.
Ito na ho, ang ating pag-uusapan about
Exactly.
divorce. Okay. Take it away, Attorney.
Yes, so thank you, Mr. Laragan. So, isa sa unang tinatanong sa akin with any prospective clients sa family law, pag nag-uumpisa na yung pag-uusap tungkol sa divorce, yung unang tanong talaga gaano katagal? Hanggang kailan ako magtitiis sa sitwasyon na to? Or hanggang gaano ba kabilis ang proseso ng korte? Or most importantly, iniisip nila, ano yung timeline bago ako fully na wala na talaga, fully disentangled na dito sa tao na to. So, the straightforward answer is, it depends. Kung wala kayong pinagdedebatihan na sa pera, if you're agreed on the money side, kung talagang you've managed to reach an agreement straight away kung paano nyo i-divide yung matrimonial properties nyo. At the same time, you've reached an agreement kung ano yung kung ano yung contact arrangement nyo with the children, or sometimes walang mga batang involved. It's a fairly straightforward process actually. So 4 to 6 months, and we managed to hit that. Na may recent case kami that very efficient yung pag-uusap nila about the division of properties, and I will give some guidance later on kung ano yung tamang nangyari dun sa case na yun. There are no kids, but again, it doesn't stop an efficient, kung may kids man, kung napag-usapan nyo naman at hindi kayo, pareho kayong on the same page sa expectations in terms of contact, kaya talagang ma-hit yung target na yun. The courts are getting back to a more robust timetable now kasi meron silang online system ngayon. So the difference before at ngayon is that kung ang isang party ay not represented just on the process of getting divorced, you can use the online system, and it's actually very, very user friendly. And if you couple that with an efficient agreement on the finances, kaya-kaya hit between 4 to 6 months, you're there moving on with this past life, na ayos na lahat ng elements. And remember what I always say, 3 elements: the process of getting divorced, finances, and children. So yun yung 3 elements na yun. It is possible, if you're in agreement with finances and children, that you can completely undo your marriage within 4 to 6 months. But kung hindi kayo in agreement, it can take years. The reason being is that lawyers, we tend not to complete the decree absolute, which is the last step in divorcing you, until may agreement kayo sa finances, or kung ayaw nyong mag-usap, ayaw nyong mag-compromise, we go and get a court order, or we seek court overview. And that in itself can take as long as complicated, as long as it would take, depending on the complications of your matter. So that could take 12 months, 18 months, or even 2 years sometimes kung may mga adjournment, may mga complication, may mga extra evidence na kailangan. So the reality is your timetable depends on you, depends on how you will deal, on both of you really, on how you will approach this, and how you will deal with the dispute, and how yung isang party siguro, depende din kung hard stance yung isang party, kung depende sa yung pinag-aawayan nila, sometimes depende sa complications ng arguments, depende sa value ng matrimonial asset, depende kung may mga allegations ng komplikado, domestic violence, etc. So the best is 4 to 6 months, and then it could take years and years kung talagang mag-aaway kayo. Now we go back to the practical consideration, kasi sinabi ko, ano ba yung mga tamang, mga nakikita ko dun sa mga past cases ko, the cases that talagang hit the spot dun sa timetable na ano namin yung 4 to 6 months. So the first thing is we actually send a draft divorce petition to the other side. So it would help if you agree with your soon-to-be ex-spouse kung ano yung ilalagay sa draft petition. It may sound a bit strange, it may sound a bit weird kasi sasabihin, di ba nga, Dana, kaya nga kami pupunta sa'yo kasi hindi kami magkasundo o nag-aaway kami. And not all the time, may iba from experience na hindi ganun ka inflammatory yung sitwasyon, hindi ganun ka combative yung sitwasyon nila. They've just reached a point in their lives na talagang hindi na nag-work yung relationship, and we tend not to inflame the situation any more than necessary sa ilalagay namin dun sa draft petition. So in order to assist ang situation na the other side would straight away acknowledge it, straight away send the signature para mag-proceed yung divorce petition. What we say is we do a bit of pre-court discussion. So sasabihin ko talaga sa kliyente, look, the reason why you're coming to me is that may nangyari sa marriage nyo. There is something that prompted you to reach this state of mind. So you've got to have to make that decision na ito na talaga. And if you're there, it's likely na yung other side as well is andun na. So there's no point na hindi natin i-acknowledge if you're really in that position, na hindi mo i-acknowledge na na-breakdown na yung marriage. And we have to undo it as we call as less inflammatory as possible. Kasi marami pa kayong pwedeng pag-awayan na mas may impact, mas importante, like yung contact nyo with children, and that they make sure that you have a positive relationship with the children, and to make sure na reasonable and fair yung makukuha mong settlement sa finances. In respect of the divorce petition itself, it's not really worth the argument. So what lawyers would say is we have to be able to at least satisfy the court, but no need to be overly debative, no need to be overly argumentative about this particular area. Yun ang parating minsan, o parating nashock yung mga clients because they think that it is their chance to say everything na gusto nilang sabihin. And yes, may ganun talaga. We accept na siguro cathartic yun ang release nila, yun ang vent out nila. But what we would say is, okay, they're not agreeing to that. But you said your piece, so maybe we can move on para makamove on na lahat. So that's actually one of the tactics lawyers use, is that they ask their clients to agree between themselves on what is the reason for the divorce so that it could go through as smoothly as possible na wala na masyadong argumento about it. So that's one thing. So we don't be surprised kapag sasabihin ko, I'm gonna send the draft to the other side. And actually, maybe I will accept some amendments. Not all na completely hindi na mabibigay yung perspective mo, but enough to make sure na efficient yung timetable. We accept na kailangan talaga minsan, importante sa kliyente to be able to say what they experience of the marriage, what their experience was of the marriage. And that's fair enough, that's okay. But we always say as well, look, you want a conclusion to this. So everyone would have to make some effort to get there as fairly as possible and as cost proportionate as possible. Because ayaw mo naman sunugin yung pera mo sa kaka-argue lang. Kasi baka iba yung experience mo, iba rin yung experience ng kabilang tao. So that's one thing. If you take that on board, even bago pa kayo pumunta sa lawyers, maybe you can have a chat and say, look, ito yung isa-cite natin, huwag ka na ma-shock, ito yung ilalagay ko. You may feel differently, pero ito yung naramdaman ko sa marriage, and we're just gonna have to get on with it. So that's one thing. About sa finances, so I've said 3 elements. I'm gonna give you 3 tips kung paano magiging efficient ang pag-process nyo sa 3 elements ng once you get to that point na you wish to disentangle from your ex-spouse. So that's the first one, is divorce. The second one is finances. From experience, what help clients in terms of mas mababa yung legal cost nila at mas mabilis yung pag-deal nila with finances is they do the voluntary disclosures themselves. So with the help of lawyers na magbibigay ng listahan kung ano yung kailangan nilang dokumento, they themselves would go out and get it, and they would sit down, and between themselves, may isang kliyente ko, they did the Excel spreadsheet. Ito yung figures ko, ito yung figures mo. And actually, with those figures, they managed to get to an early stage of agreement. Kumbaga kung ano yung mga main heads of terms nila. And then they went to the lawyers to say, tama ba to? Fair ba tong hinihingi ng kabila? Fair ba tong gusto kong makuha? And then lawyers would then give advice na, actually you can ask for more, or you can ask, hindi naman fair yung hinihingi niya sa'yo. And then dun na natutwik na pa-polish yung agreement. So the most important takeaway there is yung pagkuha ng impormasyon, ng financial disclosures, ng documents. Most families, most ng mga, what we would say the average family, average household here, kayang gawin ng parties yan. Kayang nilang kunin yung bank statements nila, valuation ng bahay nila, valuation ng pension nila. These are very practical information for you na actually helpful na alam mo whether you're divorcing or not. If you're looking at your finances, if you're looking at your budget, if you're planning financial, if you're doing some sort of financial planning, hindi ganun kahirap actually kunin yung mga information na to. And even so kahit hindi, it's quite easy to get, lalo na kung meron ka naman listahan from your lawyers what to do. So either you get the figures and you go to your lawyer, and then both of you would exchange those figures, or alternatively, kung medyo may naiwan pang diplomacy between you both, and you you can both sit down, we call it sit down at the kitchen table and talk about how you would like your finances to be divided, provided you have a full and frank disclosure between you at malalagay nyo yun into some sort of a summary to give to your lawyers. That makes your legal costs so much lower. That is a practical guide if you are looking at a win-win scenario para sa inyong dalawa. Because if you both are paying for two lawyers, you're pareho yung you're burning the matrimonial pot. Pareho nyong ginagastos yung paghahatian nyo sana ng dalawa. So the practical advice is, as much as you can, yung mga information, yung mga disclosures na yon, do it yourself, and have a chat, and then go to the lawyers for the advice on the division of the properties. And then you can just polish yung mga kumbaga main na gusto nyo mangyari. So that's a very practical guidance. I've seen that work out perfectly in some cases. Some of them, may mga clients ako, they would come here with an idea kung paano, and I would say, actually, you have a right to ask for more. Or I would say, don't, I think the court might not like that, that argument. So, hindi na nagsistart from scratch. They have, I have something to work on. Meron na akong figures na pwedeng i-analyze when you come to me for advice. It just makes things a bit more efficient. So that's a practical way of, we call it narrowing the issues or getting to financial agreement. A tip or for further information, the trivia is, if you enter into what we call a consent order or a written agreement with a clean break, and you want the court to actually seal your order, you can only do that pag na-reach mo na yung decree na isa. You can only send it to the court. So what we normally do is start yung first element, which is the process of getting divorced, and then stop pag andun na kami sa middle, decree na isa stage. And then we go or simultaneously, we're proceeding with two elements. So, process namin yung divorce petition, and then you just stop there at decree na isa. Huwag ka na mag-push forward with the final stage ng decree absolute hanggat hindi pa natatapos yung finances. So, if you can see from what I said, kung andun na kayo, malapit na kayo sa agreement, yung first 2 to 3 months, gagamitan nyo yon to get to finalize the last stages of the agreement. And then you can use that to make sure na andun kayo sa target nyo of 4 to 6 months. So that's another helpful tip, how to get there as efficiently as possible. Third element into the children matter. Now, ito either really, you're in agreement or you're not. But if there is, again, a constructive dialogue na pwede mangyari, we have this helpful guidance from Kafka's. We call it the parenting plan. So if you look at Kafka's online, or if you Google parenting plan, what we have is 8 pages na very helpful. It's almost like I think it is 8 pages. It's a spread. It's a guide. It's a guide, practical guide. Hindi siya legalese na document. It's very, very user-friendly, practical guide for you to go through with your co-parent. So it will ask, about communication, your decisions about communications, decisions about living and care arrangements. What it does, it prompts questions. So, will there be a main place where the children will live, and if so, where will it be? So these are the questions just to help you both get the dialogue going. And then you can write it there kung ano yung mga sagot niyo dalawa, kung ano yung napag-usapan yung dalawa. You can ask about money in the children, pocket money, cost for clothes, school trips, financial arrangement, university. So these are just a practical guidance. The same about education. These are questions that probably you both have to answer. The same about health issues, religious practice and upbringing, cultural issues, etc. So these are very, very helpful. Prompt po siya. It's just like it prompts you to ask the right questions about parenting, co-parenting decisions. So kung wala naman masyadong wala kayong violent reaction about the other side's having contact with the children, walang safeguarding risk. By that, I mean safeguarding risk. And you just want to polish kung ano yung arrangement. This is very, very helpful. This is a very helpful prompt. And you can do that. You can do that every few years. You can review that as long as the children grows older. So those are, you don't necessarily need lawyers for that, actually. With children arrangement order, children arrangements in general, if you can agree between yourselves, that's best. So remember, the test is what is in the best interest of the children. So when you're answering these questions, parenting plan with your co-parent, if you are not in agreement, or kung hindi kayo, you can't see eye to eye, you just have to go back to that question. What is in the best interest of the children? Not necessarily what you want or your partner wants. What is in the best interest of the children? So it's up to you kung gusto nyong i-submit yan sa korte, you can put it in the children arrangement order, or kung you just want that in this format, you can also sign that, and that's more of like an understanding between the two of you. So those are practical advice, hints, tips on how to get to that sweet spot na you make it as efficient as possible, that you get there without shortchanging your pace, that you get there as cost proportionately as possible. So to summarize, really, the answer to the question is that it will take as long as you and the other party would allow it to take. So it could be as 4 to 6 months, or it could be a few years, depending on the arguments, in order to have an efficient running of the case. The first one is try to agree the reason for divorce. The second one is try to get voluntary disclosures between yourselves and try to agree figures between yourselves. And the third one is use the parenting plan as a prompt and as a guide. So hopefully, we don't wish divorce even to the worst of our enemies. If you do find yourself in that unfortunate situation, the hope is that you get out of it as constructively and as quickly as possible.
Wow. Okay yun, ha? Because, siyempre, di ba, love makes the world go round, no? So, at first, may mga relationships na maganda, no? And eventually, they turn sour, no? Whether they like it or not, no, nagkakaroon ng divorce, eh. But yung ba, attorney, okay, so you said it could be as quick as 4 to 6 months or 2 years or longer, no? Dependent just sa kanila, no? Dependent. So,
yeah.
And you were telling them how they could also save up on their mga lawyers' fees nila by having the financials themselves, sorting out, di ba, yung kanilang, ano ba yun, yung disclosure, no? The financial disclosures.
Voluntary disclosure, yeah.
Voluntary disclosures.
Sila lang ang, they know pretty much, they had initial advice kung ano yung mga dokumento na kailangan nila. So gave the initial advice, and they went out there, got the documents, had a chat between themselves, did some Excel spreadsheet. Nag-usap sila initially, may idea, hindi pa sila fully nag-agree. What they did is, okay, ano yung thoughts mo? And my mom said, okay, let me talk to my lawyer. And then with that financial disclosure, I was able to give the advice as efficiently as possible. Kahit ako natulungan din ako kasi andun na lahat ng impormasyon. na kailangan ko. So, sinabi ko sa kanya, ito yung range ng pwede mong mahingi or you could potentially claim for. So they went back, did a bit more negotiations, and then at some point when andun na talaga malapit na, lawyers start drafting. We were drafting the agreement, and then finalize na lang between parties, and for me, that was one of the most efficient way of dealing with that. It's not applicable to all cases kasi may mga cases na talagang hindi na pwede mag-usap yung dalawang partido, for one reason or another, complete breakdown of relationship. Minsan naman sobrang complicated ng mga finances nila. So, they really need the helping hands of lawyers. But, kung hindi po yun ang sitwasyon nyo at the disclosures are fairly straightforward and iniisip nyo, mahal ba tong divorce? Please do that. So get initial advice, go get the documents, and then you can get the further advice with the documents being analyzed by them. Much more efficient.
Attorney, would it be quicker? Ayan, parang siguro iniisip lang natin, is it for all situations like yung mga civil partnership, yung mga same-sex marriages, for example?
Same din. Same them po. Yeah.
Pero mas mapapadali yan. You're talking 4 to 6 months to 2 years and more kung may mga complications o may kamukha ng mga draft petition, sa draft, divorce petition. Doon pala kung magkakaayos na, mas madali na before yung pre-court discussion. Ano ba yung pre-court discussion?
Yeah. I mean, the pre-court discussion is just letter saying, look, ito yung draft ng petition mo, don't be surprised kung ano yung, wag mong, kasi pag nagulat yung isang tao, dun biglang ayaw nang isignan yung petition, that's a bigger problem na naumpisahan mo na and you're stuck with there. So, what the view that we take is have a chat kung ano yung temperatura ng kabila, what's the mood of the other side, ano yung initial feedback ng kabila. Let's get it out now. Let's get it out quickly. Let's get it out now, and let's narrow the issues now. So we actually send draft petition. Hindi yung parang sa telenovela na biglang may nagulat, big petition, may divorce petition. It's very unlikely. Very unlikely. May nangyayari pa rin yun. But the protocol here is we send draft petition to the other side. We give them a heads up kung ano yung ilalagay namin doon. And we try not to argue so much. We have to put things in there, experience ng isang tao about the marriage, kung unreasonable behavior man. But bakit the idea is that why would one part, if you're at that point na the breakdown of the relationship, irretrievable breakdown ng relationship, we just have to get to that point of healing, get the clients to the point of healing and moving on as proportionately as we can, as efficiently as we can. Kasi ito wala namang mananalo dito eh. You're undoing the divorce. So win-win to kung talagang tapos na yung relasyon. Kung the more efficient that we get there, the better. The actual substantial arguments are in the finances and in children contact.
Oh, and if both parties help, no, they can also shave. Parang di ba makakatipid din sila dahil siyempre yung mga tinatrabaho nilang yung kukunin pa mga ibang dokumento, or if they try to lengthen yung kanilang yung divorce proceedings nila, mas makakagastos. So nakakatulong din advice mo, no, mga advice mo, i-excel pa nila, pag-usapan nila yung kanilang mga finances. Okay, attorney.
Exactly.
Ito well actually bago mo diniscuss to, ito yung question na mula kay yata to, kay Lily. Sige, okay. Ayan, si Lily, ito may question siya, attorney, no? Ayan.
Okay. So question ni Lily, hello attorney, paano po ba ang mag-divorce? Madali lang po ba? Gusto ko nang hiwalayan yung husband ko dahil may affair po sa kasamahan ko sa work. At mukhang matagal na po sila. Salamat po. Yes. Lily, just yung divorce in itself, just very quickly, yung timeline muna. I told you about yung timeline, yung 3 elements ng divorce. and then what are the helpful tips that could make it more efficient. So don't be afraid na sabi mo, it's complicated. The best way to go about it is, kung may affair, actually just a practical note dun sa nangyayari talaga. Lawyers rarely use adultery as one of the supporting facts dahil mahirap humanap ng ebidensya. How we do it is we put it on unreasonable behavior. So you can still, give your perspective kung ano yung experience mo sa divorce, but it will appear as unreasonable behavior. The same advice applies. We try to just say to it, look, eto nangyari, that it is what it is. May affair talaga kayo, and that's my experience of the marriage. And the experience, the marriage is irretrievably broken down now, and we're gonna have to get on with it. So it would be helpful, siguro, to have that first chat kung talagang andun na kayo, because at some point the other side will have to know what you're feeling about your relationship. So the best way to go about it is to have a chat and say, according to the lawyer, we'd have to talk about 3 things: the process of getting divorced. I'm telling you that the reason why I want to divorce you is I know you have an affair, and I'm going to cite that because unfortunately that's my experience of the divorce. It's up to you. If you don't accept that, you can still carry on. You can just make a note na you don't accept it, but you proceed with the divorce undefended. That's still possible. We could talk about that next time kung ano yung practical advice na yan. Kasi sinasabi ko, di ba, agree. Paano ka talaga kung ikaw na lang, ayaw mo talaga mag-agree? There's a practical guidelines to that as well. So I'll talk more about that, because we lawyers can say, you don't need to accept the fact. You can just say, I don't accept the fact, but I will not defend the divorce. So kung ikaw yung respondent, you can say that. So the first thing to do is to have that discussion, to say, okay, we have to talk about the 3 things. The first one was the reason. The second one is finances. How do you want to go about it? Voluntary disclosures kayo. And the third one is about children. So what will be the children arrangement in this case? So I don't know if you've got kids, but I'm just going to put that in there just in case my kids got, and for the viewers as well. So union divorce. So it's not just about divorce, it's the complete package. The 3 elements. I keep saying that every single time I talk about divorce. 3 elements. It can be as easy as parties make it to be. It can be as difficult as parties can make it to be. In the same way as it can be as quick as parties make it to be, and it could be as long as parties make it to be. So it could be 4 to 6 months, could be a few years. So that's really yung gist. Again, another note, the fact that may affair yung isang party, it doesn't affect the financial settlement. I'm just going to put it out there. I hope that answers the question, Lily.
Maliwanag yan, no? So walang parang advantage yung parang naagrabyado. Halimbawa, for example, sa case ni Lily dito, ang sinasabi natin respondent, yung husband, no? In case mag-initiate siya ng okay.
So, si Lily yung petitioner.
So hindi niya pwedeng i-cite yung sabi mo na adultery, kundi it will fall under unreasonable behavior.
Unreasonable, but you will still cite the
you will still cite the reason.
Pero hindi lang siya on the headline ng adultery. Kasi pag headline mo ng adultery, you have to prove it by evidence. Pag unreasonable behavior, pero yung pag enumerate mo na yung unreasonable behavior, you don't actually need to give evidence. But I would still say have a chat. You have to have that difficult dialogue to say, look, I've reached that point now, and we both have to just to get ourselves out of this marriage, at least both of you in one piece. Kasi that's the best way possible, really.
Okay. So for example, yan hahaba yan kung ayaw pumayag ng kabila, no? So yun ang
Correct.
you can yung sinasabi mo, you can make it as long as para sa yung kaninang kino-quote mo, no?
Exactly.
Okay, let's say kung inunahan siya, biglang nauna out of the blue yung isa naman parang can they I don't know kung may 'di ba may mga malicious suits, may mga kung ano-ano, no? Yung guys for example, inunahan siya nag-create ng scenario na parang generic yung unreasonable behavior. You can lump everything under unreasonable.
Exactly.
Diba?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
kung
And experience yan ng tao, ha? Experience yan ng tao, Mr. Laragan. So, who knows? Who knows kung ano yung tama at mali dyan? Who are
Yeah,
we to say na hindi talaga ganun yung naging experience niya? Because that's his own experience of the marriage. So, what I would say, you have two options there. I think you can make a cross application ng divorce, but that's not really recommended. What we normally say is what we normally recommend is the second one. To say, I do not accept kung si Lily na unahan, tapos hindi naman, sabi ni Lily, I don't accept na ganyan yung nangyari. So what you say is, I do not accept the facts there, but I will proceed but I will not defend the divorce so that we can deal with this as possible.
Pwede ba yun? Pwede pala yun? Parang sige, let the other party, ano ba yan? Parang alleged. Pero I will have a note here and saying that, I do not agree. This is not, gano'n. Pero let us proceed with the divorce. Gano'n ba yun?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So parang hindi ko
pwede mo palagay doon. Sasabihin mo, si Lily, I do not accept the fact that the petitioner noted in the divorce petition, but I will proceed undefended for the purpose of keeping the cost proportionate. For completeness, it is my the petitioner actually had an affair, but again, but you can just say, look, I just wish they did that. So doesn't para sa korte, you've reached that point in your divorce. Better, let's get the process going.
Sa Pilipinas, ano yan kasi sa atin walang divorce, so ang usong-uso yung mga annulments. Minsan kung sino talaga magbabayad, kunyari kung sino yung hindi magbabayad o walang pera, parang uma-agree na lang para lang matapos lang. O sabihin natin ikaw ang usapan, parang collusion din, no? O ikaw ang ganyan, no? Nang babae ka o nang ano ka, kung may ginawa kang para lang matapos na, kasi puro may mga psychiatrists, kailangan ng mga psychiatrists.
Ito naman hindi. Wala.
Oo. Well, yun nga. So, okay. Alright. Teka muna, may second question tayo. Ayan, so divorce yung mga, at least kung paano kayo makakalapid, paano papabilis yung inyong mga, yung proseso, no? At para hindi na rin kayo masyadong magastusan. May tips kanina si attorney, no? Okay. Ang ating, ito pera pa rin, attorney, no? Pera. Ito. Sige. Okay, ito. Ayan. Si Joey, medyo...
What is the best way to get my money back from my friend who owes me 8K? He seems not keen paying me back anymore. Joey, we had a session, I think 2 weeks ago, about letter before claim. So this is the process of initiating the legal proceedings of getting your money back. Ultimately via the courts kung hindi talaga, but you have to follow the pre-action protocol. So kailangan mo magbigay ng final demand. You have to write a letter before claim. I'm just going to summarize it very quickly, but I think it would be good for you as well to go back 2 episodes ago. Talagang almost nilagay na yung draft letter doon. So you need to know their address. Yung address ng kaibigan mo. If you don't know their address, it's not a problem. Yung mga trace agent ngayon, we have a trace agent, nahanap namin kung nasan yung isang tao, as long as, they may financial footprint sila dito sa UK. So we write a final demand letter setting out kung ano yung pinagkasunduan nyo at ano yung expectation from him or from her, failing which, you will start court proceedings. So kung hindi ka talaga nabayaran, we have what we call a small claims court. Kung makikita mo dun sa episode na yun, Mr. Laragan actually tried registering as a small claims court claimant. It's meant to assist mga litigants in person na walang abogado. It's meant to be user-friendly. So that's one of the options that you have, but you need at least his address for service, a full name niya, and you have to set out yung claim mo. You have to prepare your evidence na sinasabi ko parati, asan ba yung pinagkasunduan niyo? Nalagay ba yan sa WhatsApp? Yung sinend mo na ba yung pera, tinransfer mo ba via bank? At nakita mo ba na sinabi niya, thank you pare, bayaran kita next year, acknowledgement of the loan. And then nung hinabol mo siya, sinabi niya pa, yes, I agree, promise to pay you next month. So those are the evidence that you need to collect from the start. So that's practical advice, Joey. Please watch 2 episodes ago, how to write a letter before claims a debt claim. It'll give you a good summary, a good step-by-step details on how you can start the process.
Ayan, Joey, you can watch, go to YouTube, Filipino TV Europe. Yan, a few episodes, siguro mas mabilis na maghanap. If you were to be going back via Facebook, baka mas mahaba-haba yung i-scroll down mo. So, ayan, oo. Yeah, okay. At least, ito, mga pagbati natin, attorney, bago tayo magpaalam, Okay. Sige, okay. Ito, alright. Oops. Ayun. Si Jen Tonic lang, sinasabi lang niya sa atin na ang Andorra daw is a, ano ba yan? Tawag dito? Ayan. Andorra is a small country po between France and Spain under the government of Spain and France. Magkasama pala, no?
Oh, interesting.
Andorra is not a member of the European siguro, Union Commission siguro. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Si Edgar Duay. Edgar Duay says, magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi ni DQ and legendary Laragan. Happy Tuesday, DQ. Gwapo naman ang profile picture. Kagalang-galang, Edgar.
Naku, hindi ko na bukas ko na siguro pakikita yung bago nating newspaper, no? Meron naman may article siya. May pinakita siya sa attorney na habang nanonood siya kanina, yung ating naunang alam mo naman nanonood yan sa atin yan. Ayun, Ayan, mabuhay Edgar, ha?
Thank you, Edgar. Thank you so much.
Binabati din niya si Ma'am Cora and si Darwin. Magandang gabi sa mga tagapanood. Good evening sa iyo, no?
Classmates.
Yes, Jerry, good evening po, Attorney Dana, Sir Sonny, Gerard Barrientos, bumabati sa atin.
Good evening, Gerard.
And last but not the least, greetings, Sonny and Attorney Dana Quinto, wishing you well. And mabuhay, a blessful Tuesday. Stay safe. Ayun, So, yun yung ating mga friends na nagparamdam sa atin, At thank you very much for always being there. Ayan, kita ba si Edwin, pinagmamalaki na, nasa TV talaga. Paano ba ginagawa ni Edgar yan? Nasa nasa YouTube yan. So, nailalabas yata sa, tama nga ba, Edgar? YouTube, no? Ayun, so yan, pinapakita ho niya, nanonood siya ng television.
Smart TV yata, Smart TV, yeah.
Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Edgar, Maski maliit siguro ng monitor, ginagamit din niya, At malaking monitor. Alright, well, naging, marami tayong natutunan for today, how you could probably save up on fees or yung gastos ninyo, how to make yung divorce proceedings ninyo, o petition or whatever you call it, mas hindi mahaba ang panahon, So ayan, na-discuss na. At yung sa utang we'll go back to 2 episodes, At least makita niyo yung dokumentong pinapakita ni attorney. Alright, attorney, baka may gusto kang meron kang mga shout out, so meron kang gusto pang idagdag, baka biglang parang sino ba yun? Sino ba yung kausap? Si Ambassador, nakausap namin si Ambassador Tess Dizon de Vega last Monday for Germany. Next week, it's gonna be Poland, Si Ambassador Lea Basinang Ruiz, But lagi may naalala si Ambassador, Ito, Kuya Sonny, isa na lang, may naalala ko. So, baka meron kang gusto i-shout out, attorney, and of course, where can I get in touch with you? Where can I contact you, for any initial consultation or anything like that? Go ahead, please.
No, a shout out to Conjen Arlene of the Philippine Embassy, who's lovely. I had a chat with her recently about possible collaboration. So hopefully in the future, thank you sa efforts ng Philippine Embassy natin. We're talking about ambassadors, we're talking about mga kaibigan natin sa embassy. Talagang na ano mo na, they're working very hard para sa
Attorney. When you say Arlene, are you talking of our congen?
Opo,
Si Arlene, okay, si Arlene, okay. Gonzales
So,
Makaisa. All right, okay.
nanood po daw siya two episodes ago. So, hello po, and thanks for the lahat naman ngayon, inaano nila na sobrang busy ng lahat ng embassy. I think yun din siguro yung feedback nyo from mga ambassadors natin. So, talagang they're pushing forward kahit na dito sa yung sitwasyon natin ng pandemic na to. So again, if you would like to ask more question, any further advice or consultation, you can contact me at d.quinto@bbsolicitors.com or call at 01234-225-188. Again, it's d.quinto@bbsolicitors.com or 01234-225-188. Enjoy the rest of your evening. May araw pa, so pwede pang mag-barbecue at mag-picnic. And keep safe. Keep safe po sa lahat. Keep being happy. Happy Tuesday. Maligayang Tuesday. And yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Laragan.
Well, thank you so much. We should be thanking you because you're giving us information and keeping us company dito sa ating social family bubble natin, no? Which has been going on for, since the pandemic has begun, no? Started, no? So maraming salamat. Yes, maraming salamat. It's been a wonderful, happy Tuesday once again. So, sa ngalan, no, mga kaibigan ng ating pinakamamahal na abogada, si Attorney DANNA Quinto, no? At syempre, kayo hong lahat na nanood sa amin at nakisama ho dito sa ating programa. At palagi ang kasama namin. Thank you very much. As always, we were so thankful and grateful that you are with us. Emeline Rafael, bumati si Emeline. Ipapasok ko lang mabilis lang dahil baka biglang magtampo to. Ayan, no? Ayun. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Dan. Happy Tuesday to both of you. So, ayan. With that, no, maraming salamat to. Take care. Keep well and safe always. We love you. See you again next Tuesday. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Tapos yan niluluto ko Kailangan mo pa. Paborito ko yan.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.